The people of Boston got exactly what they wanted in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Man, did they dominate this game from start to finish, holding LeBron James to 15 points, 5 for 16 from the field. Jalen, strategically, what did this team do to make the best player in the world look so pedestrian?
Well, really, it starts with Danny Ainge when he goes out and he makes a long-term commitment to Brad Stevens at a point where no other NBA teams were trying to hire him. And then Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge, they do subtle moves that people aren't paying attention to, like acquire Al Horford, who at points at the game yesterday was not only guarding the point guard, but guarding the center. On the other end, making post-ups and making threes. Then how about this? Acquiring enough picks to where you have the number 3 pick to get Jalen Brown. And then you can turn around and get it for Jason Tatum. Oh, the year before, you just took Marcus Smart with the number 6 pick. So now they built out the level of depth. And then you acquire Kyrie in the offseason. You acquire Gordon Hayward. And both of those guys hurt. So what else you do? You acquire Morris. Now all of a sudden you have 4 guys on the floor that score more points than LeBron James in Game 1. It's just phenomenal what Danny Ainge has done with that roster, and Brad Stevens has become one of the top coaches in the game.
So what did they do, though? Like, what X's and O's moves did they make to limit LeBron in Game 1?
They have players on the wing that are versatile, that can dribble, pass, and shoot, in particular, Brown and Tatum. They have bigs that are mobile, like Morris, as well as Horford, that can take advantage of a smaller guy, that can get stuck on LeBron. And since he's not a knockdown shooter per se, you challenge and you live with the miss or the make. If he's dominant and aggressive, which he was not in Game 1, which I anticipate he's going to be in Game 2, then you have to rethink that. So you got to give them all of the credit. But I expect LeBron to come out, be more aggressive from the beginning of the game, and don't also be surprised if and when they start Tristan Thompson in Game 2.
You mentioned Tristan Thompson. I'm glad you did, because everyone's so focused on how the Celtics limited LeBron, the defense they played. They looked pretty good on the offensive end, too. They put Thompson and Love in 41 different pick and rolls. That seemed to be something that they're consciously attacking. If you start Thompson, do you think they'll still give him the same diet of just putting him in the pick and roll?
Yes, indeed, because he's better at guarding it than Kevin Love is. And on the other end, he's going to give you effort and offensive rebounding and height. You're going to need somebody to play those minutes. And I'm not saying that you're going to look down at the stat sheet and Tristan Thompson is going to be a 20-and-20 guy, but he will be able to play some of those quality minutes against the bigs for the Celtics, who play a lot of jumbo matchups. When you're watching the game, don't sleep. There are times when Baines, Horford, and Morris are all on the floor at the exact same time. That's unusual in the era of small ball.
So the Cavs can easily point to this as the reason that they were dominated in Game 1. They were 4 for 26 from the three-point line. They were 1 for 12 in uncontested threes. 1 for 12 in uncontested threes. Is this just, hey, bad shooting night, or are the Celtics doing something to force them into a bad shooting night?
No, you said uncontested. And there are also a lot of plays where they've just got uncontested layups and dunks. One play where they did a sideline out of bounds and LeBron James just did a slice cut and got a dunk. There were a couple of different times I saw LeBron and Kevin Love just ease their way down the lane and get dunks. So all of this looks a lot different when you're making shots from 3. I think the Cavs will shoot a lot better in the next game.
You don't seem too concerned about Game 2 for the Cavs. And guess what? Neither is LeBron James. Let's listen.
I didn't go to college, so it's not March Madness. You get better throughout the series. You see ways you can get better throughout the series, but I've been down 0-1, I've been down 0-2. I've been down before in the postseason.
He said he has 0 level of concern, Jalen Rose. 0 level of concern. Should he be more concerned?
I wouldn't say you should be more concerned just yet. Now, they drop Game 2, and then you have to win 4 out of 5. Then you got to perk up your ears and be a little more concerned. But you just mentioned it. They were 1 for 12 on open three-point contests. And LeBron James wasn't aggressive to start the game. He's got to set the tone, and then that allows everybody else to feel more confident about their games. But the other thing I appreciate for LeBron, he got these guys really dressing alike. This is almost like the NCAA tournament or something.
I'm glad you brought this up.
It's like, wait a minute, let me get this right. So LeBron James, you clearly got a relationship with a clothier. We get 1 or 2 free suits, and then you got us all showing up like a player when he signed his letter of intent. You have no choice of what you wear once you get to the college because they already got a deal.
Time out. I'm glad you brought this up because do you remember when they won the championship? You remember that, right? And they were wearing the sleeved black jerseys. They're like, oh, these are working. We're going to stick with them. We're going to wear them in Game 7. Even though we don't like them, we're going to wear them in Game 7 because that's what's working for us. Those short-leg suits, those gray suits that they're wearing, they're 1 and 3 in those suits. Why do they keep going back to them? I think LeBron James spent so much money. He's like, we're wearing these whether we win or not. I don't even care. Moving on.
No, when he got the deal, he promised that they'd wear him X amount of games.
Yeah, they probably came for free. He didn't spend any money on them.